So when it comes to grilling, chicken is one of the meats that is really hard to get it right in terms of it's cooked and yet it's not burnt. Now in this video, I'm excited to show you how to make perfectly grilled chicken. Now I'm using a gas burner, gas grill. So it's in this video I'll actually show you from start to finish. I've only how to salt. I've just used salt and pepper in this chicken. You can also use herbs and other marinades, but when for the purpose of this video, what I've done is that make it simple. It looks really delicious. It's nice and crispy on the outside, and watch till the end to see exactly the step by step to get it right to this doneness, whereby it looks absolutely delicious. And I can't wait to dig in. Let's get cooking. So for this guide that I'm going to show you, what I'm doing is making it simple in terms of ingredients. All I'm adding to the chicken is salt and pepper. Now the first thing you want for the chicken is that it's you want it dry. So you can tap it dry with a paper towel, which is what I've done. So there's also another way of you doing this. You can actually salt it beforehand. And then leave it in the fridge and let the salt absorb into the chicken, but I'll do another guide on that in another video. But for this one, assuming you want to start cooking, grilling the chicken, so this is all you need to do. So sprinkle salt, and what I'm doing is actually sprinkling. You see, I'm moving my hand while no, I'm not placing it on one point. I'm just moving while I'm sprinkling the salt over the chicken. Now this applies to a lot of meat. Whenever you're doing this, whether it's fish or meat, you're applying what seems like a lot of salt on the surface, because what will happen is that even as you continue cooking, some of the salt will fall off. Already some of it is already on the plate, and what that does basically, it compensates for that. And also remember, you're not able to penetrate into the chicken, so that's why you're putting more salt on top like that. And then I'll do the same thing with the black pepper. Now personally I love black pepper, and I apply black pepper in a lot, actually all of my cooking. And what I'm using is the freshly ground black pepper. That for me it's actually nicer. It's better than the already ground black pepper. So same thing, apply what seems to be like a lot on the surface. And try and get all the sides, including like here. What I'm going to do is that, and then so basically make sure that all sides are covered like that. So that's it. So that's the first stage. Now again, you can do this if you're using a marinade. You can do this the same thing, but for this video what I wanted to show is the basics. Even at the most basic level, with just salt and pepper, you can still get it right in terms of flavor with grilling the chicken. So when this is done, the next thing is the grilling part. So whenever you're grilling, especially this one, this is a gas grill. The most important thing is that you need to make sure that it's clean. At least the grills are not having meat from either the previous cooking that you had. Just clean it. You can either use a brush like this one, which is a wire brush. Just scrub it and then clean it either with a wet towel or a paper napkin, just to make sure that you remove all the debris. But you do not want it to be rusty or something like that. So that's the most important thing. Now it also needs to be hot. Now I had already turned it on before a few minutes, and now it's hot. You want it to be hot before you start cooking the chicken. And at this stage, what I will show you also is I'm going to apply a little bit of oil. Now I'm applying a little bit of oil on the surface of on the skin. Now that helps in making sure that the chicken does not stick. When you place it on the grill, you want to hear that sizzle. That's the other thing. Now, the reason why I've actually cooked on that side first, the side that was looking up, not this side, because that side is the one that will actually be on top. You want the side that you want to be on the top, the plate when you're plating, to start cooking. So in this case, it's that side, the outer side. So place it on the grill. Because it was already hot, I'm setting it on medium heat. So it's now been about 3 minutes into the cooking. Now that is what you need to look out for, that flare up. So that flame, you see that flame, that's coming from the oil dripping from the chicken and onto the flame, and then it causes flare up. Now this is a gas burner. Now a gas burner is a little bit easier to control compared with the charcoal one, because what will happen with a gas burner, you can actually reduce the fire completely, but at the same time, this is also what you want. You want the chicken to start browning like that, meaning it's cooking. Now it's been now about 5 minutes into the cooking. Now what I've done is, this gas grill has about five burners. Now where the chicken is here at the center, I've put them on lowest heat, and then the outer ones I've put them on high heat. What that is doing is, remember, when you close this, we want it to be like an oven, so I'm increasing the temperature inside, but at the same time, the reason why I'm reducing is this is what you don't want. See, when the fat is melting, it's burning, and it's not a good thing. Now, so far so good. And what is happening is that the chicken now is cooking evenly. At least it's not over browning on the outside, and it's giving time for the chicken to cook on the inside. Okay, I've turned it because I can always, this is not the browning that I need, but I can always add more of it a little bit later by turning it back to this side to cook. So I've turned it to cook on the second side. Again, it's not on direct heat, so the middle part again is on low heat, the outer one is on high heat, so it will increase the temperature on the inside the chamber. And even right now, what is happening, it's boiling. So when it's boiling like that, that's a good thing. That's an indication that the meat inside is actually cooking, and the heat is penetrating to the bone. So we continue leaving it like that. In case your chicken has a lot of fat, it's also a good idea to remember to just trim it off. Now this second side, I've not added any oil because the chicken has its own fat, especially from this side on the inside. So we leave it to continue cooking and wait for it to be well done. Wow, it looks really nice. I've already turned it now to the original side. I can't see any blood coming out on either part, either here or even yeah. And another indication, like I said, when the meat pulls out from the bone like that, that means that the meat is cooked. It actually means that the heat has penetrated onto the bone, and it's hot enough to actually pull away from the meat, to pull away from the bone. Now you see, this is the first side that I had started. Now I've turned it so that it actually chars a little bit more like that. It's a little bit dry. This is what I wanted. Now to recap how we started, because now the chicken is actually done. Now the most important thing whenever you're cooking, you're grilling chicken, is regulating the heat. It's relatively easier when you're doing it on the gas grill, because like I said, where the chicken is cooking, you put it on low heat, and then the outer burners are on high heat. When you cover, in fact, the temperature on this oven, because it has a thermometer here, it was at 250 degrees Celsius. Now at 250 degrees Celsius is perfect cooking, especially when you want it to be evenly browned. If it goes to 300, it's a little bit degrees Celsius, which is about 580 Fahrenheit. That's on the high side. You want it to be on the 250 mark Celsius. That's the perfect temperature, especially even if you cook it in the oven. And alternatively, you can raise it. It prevents the flare-ups. The flare-ups will actually burn the chicken on the outside. And this is now ready for serving. And it's as simple as that. So it's all about technique. It's all about understanding what is happening. Remember, another way you can reduce the flare-ups or burning is to trim off the excess fat on the chicken. And it's as simple as that. So if you're using it with barbecue sauce, if you're using it with a spice rub or something, also it can be very tricky, especially if you're using a charcoal burner. Now, how to get away with making it nice and juicy is, now if you're cooking it like this, basically it will be nice and juicy. But how you can also get away with cooking it and making it cooked inside is making some cuts on the flesh. It will make the heat penetrate into the flesh faster than leaving it like this. So it's all about practice, and I hope you've learned something new. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I'm all about making you a better home cook. And check out the rest of my videos on cooking and baking. And I hope you learned, like I said, hope you learned something new. Until next time, I'm signing out. I'm Chef Raphael.